FEC Summit in Scottsdale, Arizona at the Weekopah Resort. And I'm super excited because Mario and Kim Valdez from Conroe's Incredible Pizza are joining us for ThinkTank Thursday. There we go. We have an authentic helicopter. Listen, you can't make that stuff up, right? So if you couldn't come to FEC Summit, here we are in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona with two of my dear friends, and I'm really excited to do ThinkTank. You know, the concept of ThinkTank is we're so busy, and could we just stop for a minute to do some thinking? We've certainly had that advantage here at the summit, and I'm so delighted that you're going to take a little bit of time to talk to us about technology and staffing and some of the things going on at Incredible. I will point out that Kim looks much like my sister, which means she looks much like me. So she is my sister from another mother, right? And Mario, well, we're just delighted that you're here. You're lucky enough to be married to this beautiful lady. They are owner-operators and really in the day-to-day, correct?
That is correct. Yes, we are.
Yeah. Much more so, even more during this challenging time with staffing and
Absolutely.
I'm so curious over the last couple of years, if you think about all the things that we've learned, because my gosh, we've learned things that we couldn't have even thought about. What would be the 2 or 3 biggest lessons that you've taken on? Kim?
Well, I've learned that with just 1 or 2 people, we can book a ton of parties.
So your party business is back.
My party
Yes.
business is back.
And
That's
strong.
good.
And
Good.
Very
And
strong.
strong.
So that's good. I've also learned how to make pizza dough and sling pizza in the kitchen.
We've all had to jump in, right?
All hands on deck right now.
Yeah. How much less staff do you have?
Well, usually we're at this time we're about 120. Right now we're about at 90.
Okay. So
that's
20 or 30%.
Trying to ramp up for spring break and going into summer right now.
Got it. Mario, what would you say, just from a learning curve point of view, big changes or challenges over the last couple of years, big lessons?
I mean, it's so well. I mean, I'm kind of glad that it kind of happened because it made us be better operators.
Yeah.
Kind of really drill down on our operations as far as efficiency. You know, look back at our hours, how we operate, operating procedures, creative scheduling.
Oh.
Which is
Tell me more about what you mean by that.
creative scheduling is, hey, do we really need this room open? Do we need this additional busser or cashier? Trimming hours. That's why I say cutting the fat throughout the day. You know, and making the managers really think about it as far as keeping the pulse on the labor and being efficient across the board and knowing when to shut down and when to open back up too.
Yeah.
I think it made them sharper on their decision making as far as just kind of walking the 4 walls and kind of getting the feel for it. Hey, we're busy. Hey, let's open up this room. Oh, it's starting to slap back down. Okay,
Let's close it.
Let's close it down, and use our busters. Use our busters to start closing it down before they take off, and kind of utilizing them better as far as their time management.
That's good.
Throughout the day.
Well, and even with that being said, scheduling our parties. Before, we had plenty of staff that we could do an 11 o'clock party and then leave the gap till 4 o'clock and pray that something filled in. Now, we don't offer that 4 o'clock. If we have an 11 o'clock, we're pushing for 12:30 for
Got
the
it.
next party or 1 o'clock. So that there's less gaps in the day, so we make better use of our party hosts as well.
So what technology are you using to kind of manage all those booking systems and stuff?
We use SimKnox
Okay.
for booking, and we use them for POS and
Yeah, we use it. I
games.
mean, it's our all around.
You're able to use it all through the center. Now, you made the SimKnox change a couple of years ago, right?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. What have been the advantages or disadvantages, challenges, benefits?
Well, with SimKnox, I mean, the game side of it, I mean, we had issue with our previous gaming card system. We were having a lot of issues with it, server issues and stuff like that. But instantaneously, when we made that switch, our game complaints, our challenges, gone.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Next to zero. Our downtime when the server goes out or something like that, it's non-existent anymore. Challenging size a little bit on the POS, but we're working through it, and that's the good thing about Simnox with us. I mean, any kind of changes we like to make, you know, they put it in their support and help us develop a workaround or a fix around, or they say, hey, that's a great idea, and they'll put it on their next upgrade.
Oh, wonderful.
Their upgrade system. So.
And the response is very quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anytime we send a message to support, we get a response back. Several somebodies have acknowledged it within the first 5 or 10 minutes.
Wow.
And,
Wow.
And most of the time, it's solved in less than 24 hours.
And depending on the severity, they'll kick it up a notch and take it to their critical support team, if it's a severe issue or whatnot. But for the most part, they've been very open and receptive, and to feedback as well.
That's great.
So.
That's great. That's great with any, I mean, as consumers, we're demanding, and that response and service and everything is such a challenge. And it's interesting because with the technology, has that been able to help you with people? Like, have you replaced any people with technology?
Well, we're about to.
Tell me
I
more.
don't think about replacing people. I think we can utilize them, but where it's going to help is definitely on our labor aspect of it. And we're going to start off on our game room, adding the bank of kiosk.
Okay.
And taking that info person and utilizing them better, and obviously cut down our hours as well. But not having those two shifts where we got that person that we have to cover it as far as the info desk, and we can just utilize our people on the game floor to help for support and better support our guests that walk in that have questions.
Almost like the checkout, self-service checkout at the grocery store.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, this will be interesting. What do you think the adoption will be? I mean, currently, are your customers, are they using that kiosk? I mean, because you already have kiosks now, but are they using it to register themselves? Are they doing that now? And if not, how are you going to get them to do that when you get the bank?
That's a good question. I think it's almost like a 50-50 question. People that know how to use it and comfortable, they'll use it. And you see the line at the kiosk. I just think for our situation, we only have one kiosk in the front and one in the back. I think a bank of kiosks will help eliminate that process. And again, it just train the guests that come in to get used to the new procedure.
Right.
Just like when we went to ticket list, it was the same thing. But it took no time for them to understand it and accept it. And, we had hardly any issue when we switched over to ticket list.
That's awesome.
Having one kiosk now, and your choice of walking up to a machine or walking up to the person at the info desk, you're going to go to the person at the info desk just because there's a person there.
Right.
And the kiosk isn't right in front of you.
Yeah.
The new setup will have the kiosk right in front of you when you walk in, very user-friendly. There will be instructions. And so I think through the pandemic, people have gotten more used to automated service.
Right.
So I think it'll be an easy transition. Now, there'll be the few that'll get a little pushback. But I really think the COVID situation has already started training our guests for
absolutely
automation.
I think so. The word, and this is so crazy for somebody who wrote a book that called "People Buy from People," right? And so now I have to. My favorite COVID word not is pivot, right?
Yes.
So I have to pivot my own brain about how does automation still create that service experience. And so will you have a guest service person now who can serve the 6 or 8 bank of tellers? And is it possible that the service will be better than?
I think you still are going to have that human contact. Right there, educating our guests, explaining
how to work,
and things like that. But I think they won't feel as pressure. Our employee won't feel as pressured to sell or upsell. Machines will do it themselves. All we have to do is educate the guest.
That's awesome.
And so we're going to take one of our old kiosks and we're going to use it in our food and beverage aspect of it, as far as having the guests order like pizzas instead of going up to the buffet captain and say, hey, can we order a pizza? We'll take one of them and try it out, as far as they can build their own pizza right now and send it to the kitchen.
Wow.
So that's one of the new things that we are going to try with one of our older kiosks that we're working with Simnox with, is to have them build their own pizza up, front of house, and kind of dip our toe into, selling some residual stuff, cotton candy or ice cream.
Oh,
or
wow.
beer and wine
Okay.
from this kiosk.
Yeah.
And it goes into the different departments as far as pulling a ticket or whatnot. So,
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I had the privilege and benefit of watching you just serve on a fabulous panel where you guys were talking about leadership, and you talked about a guest service experience at the POS where, I guess the concept was, how are you rewarding people? How are we paying people more and stuff like that?
Yes.
I thought you had a great concept that sounded like it's worked great.
The front of house, directors and stuff, they came up with this idea as far as, what can we do to help with the cashiers and turn our people into salespeople, our cashiers, instead of just an order taker, but an
Right.
order maker actually. And so, we have our top tier package, and every time they sell that particular package, they get 25 cents.
Oh, wow.
On their checks. So the admin, she'll run the report, and it's like, all right, $100 here, $200 here, but
Wow.
it drives our per caps, through the roof as far as on the weekday and weekend. And
That's
so
awesome.
And they're pushing it, so we're getting high per cap dollars.
That's
Once-
awesome.
Once these cashiers realize how fast
I can control my,
order
yeah.
adds up,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
they were busy.
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what's the move been on the per caps? How much of a percentage of increase?
Before we used to be at probably about a $17 per cap,
Uh-huh.
and now it's almost up to $28 per cap.
Oh my
Yeah.
word.
So
That-
it's a big deal.
And a quarter.
Yeah.
Can you imagine well, listen, I've been in sales my whole life. I know about commission.
Yeah, right.
So, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, so anything else just from a staffing perspective, how difficult has it been for you to
It was
hire?
very difficult for us. This is the first year we had to hire 15-year-olds.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
so,
And that presents all new challenges.
just-
as
Right,
well.
they can only work so many hours.
Exactly.
And every
they
state's
can't touch
different.
a vacuum, they can't do this.
Oh, wow.
So,
Anything with a cord.
yeah, anything with the cord. But, yeah.
Interesting.
It is very interesting. But they saved us. And you know what? And and it was kind of funny because it was kind of a mistake. Like, oh, Mr. Mario, we hired this 15-year-old. I go, do they want to work? Again, it's going with that pivot aspect of it.
Right.
It's like, look, we just have to manage it. We can manage it. Let's do it. And we did. We opened it up.
And honestly, they want to
yeah,
work.
they want to work.
Uh-huh.
There's just
They
been
wanna
one
work.
or two that have been, but most of them have really surprised us at how much they want to work and learn.
You
Oh,
have
that's
that
awesome.
maturity, aspect of it. But
Sure.
you know what? We deal with some of the older.
No
the
kidding.
Older people.
No
so,
kidding.
Yeah, just another thing we have to manage. But you know what? Honestly, they actually saved us. As far as just getting us through, especially with our birthday parties. That was
Good.
huge for us.
Well, my Leslie, my eldest, who is 40, she won't appreciate me saying that, but her first job was at the Bronco Bowl, and she was 15, and she was the best party host in the building. And way back then, she was making $40 and $50 in tips. That was big money for a 15-year-old for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's one more thing, Mario, you said on the stage that I was so impressed with, and you could tell it was just part of your language. You talked about in your leadership style and in your team that you try to teach and practice being
Firm, fair, and consistent.
firm, fair. When you said it, I was like, do y'all have that listed as your core values? Because I'm telling you, Mario, it is part of your language. And when you said it, I was like, wow. And what a great leadership style. So give me an example of how each of you kind of manage that fair, firm, and consistent style.
Well, it's the walk through the building. When you see something, you take care of it. You take care of it the same way each time. And that consistency
Mm-hmm.
helps these employees, our friends, they just understand we're going to say the same thing each time.
And just for like Kim on the birthday party side, we decided, look, okay, we're going to be firm with the birthday party. It's a $75 deposit. They don't have a deposit, they're not going to get on the books. We'll be fair about it. But consistency is where we're putting the birthday parties. Look, we don't have this space available, but we want to put them in the gym. But how's that going to affect operations? So no, we're not going to do it.
We're not
So
going
we
to do
have
it.
to be consistent across the board.
That's awesome.
And that, on the birthday party, that kind of helped us on that side. Operations, it's the same thing with the managers and the trainers. Look, everyone's responsible, in this, in the building to help clean up or just to, touch the guest or whatnot, and we have to be all, firm about it. If someone's not doing it over there and you're a director in the fairgrounds, but they work in the kitchen, and don't be afraid to go tell them, like, look, remember, part of our core values is, we got to do this.
That's
so
awesome.
It's being consistent, making sure that everyone's on the same page in the
Right.
building doing it, and firm, look, this is the reason why we do it,
And
There's such clarity there, guys.
Back to the parties, that had become a little bit of a problem because front of house managers or supervisors wanted to help a guest book a party, and we didn't have any rooms available, so they let them book the parties in the gym, and it was like, you can't do that. We don't have
Right.
a host there, but I wanted to help them. I understand.
Right.
We appreciate the wanting to help.
Right.
We get it. But if we don't stay firm and fair and consistent, then party hosts aren't happy, managers
Right.
aren't happy,
The guests aren't happy. Yeah.
and
it goes back to the
just
guest experience.
trickles.
Yeah. Well, and you're right, Mario. And we determined yesterday we're in the experience business, right? You're not a family entertainment center. You're not even an entertainment.
Yeah.
You are in you're creating memories and experience that matters. Wow.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, I love y'all. This is fun. Usually we do Think Tank and Candy and those of you watching Think Tank have no idea how good this video is. I've probably been moving around like crazy, but this was fun to do it in person. We never end a Think Tank without asking our guests. Because we're really obsessed. We're in the people growth business at TrainerTainment. And so we are so curious to always find out what is it that you do on a consistent basis to help grow yourself or to help grow others. So,
As far as for me, obviously books and podcasts and stuff like that, but, getting in with the chambers and talking to other business owners, not even just restaurants or entertainment. I am on the board of directors for the chamber, and so, but I learn a lot from them as well with small businesses.
mm-hmm.
And I think that definitely helps out because of the different aspects and different set of eyes and the same issues that they're having. Like
Yeah,
us.
you are too. Yeah, and it's stunning. And I think there is, that's the value of being in a place like this where we are today. It's like, oh, yeah. They're, or they've solved that problem. That's a great idea.
Absolutely.
Or,
And you take little pieces of nuggets here and there and stuff like that, and you can, come back and we talk about it and say, look, let's try this. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. We can try it, and then sweep it under the rug if not.
Right.
And with our trainers, because they have to interview with me to get to that position, it's kind of funny. And I tell them, I give them the spiel like, hey, tell me your definition of a trainer, and I said, just remember this: at the end of the day, ask yourself what you could have done better to make your day better.
Oh.
And apply it towards your job, life, or whatever it is. If it
I
works,
like that.
great. If not, sweep it under the rug. Let's try something else. But at the end of the day, ask yourself, hey, what could I have done to make my day better, or train better, or if I wake up 5 minutes early, or whatever it is,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And so they kind of take that and say, you don't have to apply for here. You can apply to Tuesday Life anywhere you go.
That's great.
But we always learning.
What's the last book you read?
Ooh, man, I haven't read in a while.
All
I started picking one up.
Listen to podcasts more now.
I listen to podcasts more.
I know Candy's a big podcaster. I'm forever like, oh, you should read this book, and I can see her roll her eyes, and she'll go find the podcast about the book, and it saves you time, right? And I listen to more books than I read, although I have something in my backpack that I read on, almost finished the whole book on the plane. Okay, Kim, you're on.
So, somebody told me a long time ago, and it may even be Zig Ziglar's comment, but if you will teach people how to do your job and everything that you know, they will grow and you will grow, because then you're always ready to move to your next level of
that's great.
And you brought the person behind you to their level of greatness.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, I love you guys. I love it that you took the time to do this. I'm sure we just missed a great session. So maybe you can get the end of it. And I want to thank our sponsors. We have partners and sponsors for our think tanks, and ask all of you to join us every Thursday at 1 o'clock, because it's time to slow down a minute and just do some higher level thinking. So
And
thank
Beth,
you.
we appreciate you for all you do, and this,
Aw.
this is what you do, because I mean, we learn from this. We all do,
Aw.
and we're just talking about it in there, and everyone's just raving what you did.
Aw.
Especially during this challenging times.
Thank
And
you.
everyone,
Peer talk
peer talk is
Think Tank
and
has
Think
been
Tank is
everybody's
yeah,
conversation.
Aw.
and they enjoyed it, and they thank you, and you
The
don't
do
know how
good.
much
The do good. We
Yeah,
learned
the
that
giving back,
yesterday.
baby.
Well, I'm always looking for ways to do that. I'm always looking for ways to
And,
do
yeah,
that.
we
Thank
you
you.
for doing this. So,
Oh, thank you.
absolutely.
All right, guys. Love you.
Love you.
All right.